What's good? Y'all know who I am.
So,
This is
what's
Elijah. My cousin. That cousin. I don't know what the hell. He's family. They just say that. And he's gonna help me with some this video today.
Yup.
Today's gonna be about relationship. Alright? I'm gonna give him a shout out because he came up with most of this, or actually probably all of this, but it's whatever. It's my channel. Alright, we're gonna start off with giving 100% in a relationship, because that's like the biggest thing in a relationship. It's 100%. Both of y'all need to give 100%, or it's just not gonna work out.
Yep. It's like a machine, you know, like if all the parts aren't working correctly and moving in the right direction, the machine's not gonna work properly. And that's the way you gotta see a relationship. If you guys aren't both giving the same amount of effort and looking after each other and caring for each other to the same amount, then you're never gonna be equal, and the love's never gonna be equal. So you gotta realize that, and you gotta take a step back and look at your relationship and really examine it and ask yourself if you're both putting in the same amount of work.
True. So, alright. Second one, we're gonna do 7. Second one is, I'm gonna say trust. Trust is a big issue in relationships, especially like starting off, because y'all really don't know each other yet, and y'all need to get to know each other. And that's when trust comes in. And that,
I feel like trust is the biggest part of a relationship. See, because I mean, if you don't trust your partner, I don't really see the point of being with them, because without trust, the relationship just isn't gonna last, and you're gonna kill yourself with thoughts thinking about what they're doing when you're not around, or who they're talking to when you're not talking to them, and that's no good for a relationship. That just causes problems. So you have to be able to trust your partner, and at the end of the day, be able to believe that, you know, they're gonna be as faithful as you are to them.
True. And I get it. Some people might have some trust issues from the past, but that's the past.
The past doesn't matter. You gotta let the past go, because the way I see it, the past doesn't equal the future. Everything that happened in the past, that's all just lessons learned, so that when you finally do find that one person who does treat you right, you know how to treat them in that moment, because you've been through shit and you understand how certain situations feel. So the way I see it, everything that you go through, whether it's heartbreak or getting cheated on or whatever it is, you know, I see that as a lesson to push you forward to the person you're really supposed to be.
Alright, and now we're gonna talk about respect. Respect means a lot too. You gotta respect your partner's problems, everything, anything in a relationship. You gotta respect it.
See, my big thing with respect is, I don't know, one thing that I feel like a lot of people do, and this isn't just girls, guys do this shit too, but if you're in a relationship with somebody, you shouldn't be talking to anybody that likes you, used to like you, anybody that you used to fuck with, anybody that wants to fuck with you, because you should know not to talk to them out of respect for your partner and for your relationship. Because in the long run, anybody that you've ever had something with is probably most likely gonna want something again, or something out of you. And in respect for your partner, you should just not put yourself in that situation.
True. Also think about what you're doing. Will you like if your partner does that to you? I don't think so, right? I wouldn't like it.
Exactly. And then you gotta respect your partner too, especially guys, because guys, man, y'all niggas gotta think about it, alright? Take a second to think about this. Think about yourself. Now, think about if you had a daughter. Would you be happy if she was with a nigga like you?
True.
And if you don't like your answer to that question, then change yourself, because shit, right now you're not being the type of person that you really want to be. Alright? So, I don't know, my big thing is just respect your partner and respect your relationship.
Alright, now we're gonna get to arguments. Arguments is a big issue. Big issue. Everyone needs it though. If you guys are not arguing, you guys are not meant for each other. Not arguing all the time, once in a while.
Right, the way I see it,
every other time.
Yeah.
Not all the time though. You guys are arguing all the time. You guys just need to cut that off. That's dead. And not early in the relationship neither. Y'all should not supposed to be arguing beginning of a relationship. Give her a couple months, see if they talk to them about what's the problem, and if it's not going good, then it's not meant to be.
I don't know. I think arguing has its good and bad sides, bro. Cause I don't know if I feel like if your partner doesn't argue with you, I'm not saying on a daily basis, cause sometimes that shit gets tiring. But if your partner doesn't argue with you about things, then the way I just feel like they don't really care. Okay? Because we're all human. We all get mad at things, alright? And we're all gonna have our own personal opinions on certain situations. So if your partner, you gotta expect them to get mad and you gotta expect arguments sometimes. But at the same time, you can't take that overboard. And sometimes we all argue over stupid shit. So sometimes you gotta take a step back and look at the situation and tell yourself, am I in the right or am I in the wrong? And you also gotta ask yourself, even sometimes if you are in the right, it doesn't matter. Alright, you gotta ask yourself, is winning an argument worth losing the person that you want to be with? And I don't know. I don't think it's worth it, Sometimes it's better to lose the argument than to lose the person you love.
True. Now this one is for mostly women, cause y'all be on this nothing's wrong, nothing. We're not mind readers, alright? Some guys do that too, but that's just cause that's a whole different story. But women, y'all need to tell us.
Yes, alright.
Yes.
Alright, we cannot read your mind, okay? I know what the fuck you were thinking last night at 2 a.m. in the morning while you were taking a shit and you were mad as fuck. I don't know, alright? You need to fill me in on these things, okay? One of the key factors in a relationship is communication. If you guys aren't communicating, then you're just gonna have problems because you're not talking about the problems. And when the problems don't get talked about, eventually, you're just bottling up inside and then they just spill over eventually, And I don't know, I feel like in a relationship, it's your responsibility to fill your partner in on what's going on.
Alright.
Wait, where to stop it?
Alright, something about communication.
But anyways, I know where that last video stopped, but communication is key. Alright.
I low-key forgot to. Now we got to actions speak more than words. Y'all gotta stop believing what the other person says. They say, I'm not gonna hurt you, you guys can take that, hopefully it does hopefully the person doesn't hurt you, but also remember that people can lie. Words are just words. I could say I'm gonna be a billionaire tomorrow. It's not gonna happen. So you just gotta watch on their actions.
He's I don't know, man. You're right on that. I'm not gonna weigh my opinion on that though.
Alright. But yeah, just I don't know how to tell you guys, but just show it. Don't say it, just show it. All right?
Actually, I ain't gonna put my opinion on this. Ladies, just because a guy tells you something, don't right away fall for what he's saying. You gotta sit there and actually, look at a person, and you gotta learn how to read people, and you gotta be able to see clearly what a person's true intentions are. And I know sometimes it's hard. Shit, I've been fucked over plenty of times, but I don't know. The way I see it, words don't mean shit if the actions aren't there. Alright? A person could say a million things, but if they're not doing anything to prove it, then why believe them? Why stick around? And here's another topic that we're gonna get into. Sticking in a relationship that you don't deserve. See, and this goes for both genders, alright? This goes for guys and girls, alright? Just because you feel like you love that person and you know they're the best that you could do doesn't mean that it's necessarily true. Okay? You shouldn't us as people, we tend to look for the love that we think we deserve. And most of the time in reality, we deserve so much better than that. And I don't know, the way I see it is you can't stick yourself in a shitty relationship just because you think you're in love with the person. Okay? And you can't stick around because you think that that's the best things are gonna get, because hey, we all got a life to fucking live and there's people everywhere, okay? And just because you lose one person doesn't mean you're never gonna find somebody else, okay? Nothing's guaranteed in life. And sometimes you gotta take chances, alright? And I don't know, you just can't. We get so caught up with being in love with the idea of a person instead of actually being in love with them. Alright? And there's a difference, okay? When you're in love with someone, it doesn't matter. You become blind. Okay? And you would do anything to stay with that person. But when you're in love with the idea of them, you get blinded by your emotions, by what you're thinking that you feel, when in reality you're lost. And I don't know, video keeps cutting out, but anyways, yeah, you can't stay in a relationship that you feel like you don't deserve. If you feel like your partner isn't
giving 100%,
and giving you the same amount of love and attention and care that you're giving to them, then don't stick around, because you don't deserve that. You need to go and find somebody that's actually gonna do all that for you.
But that's where also communication comes. You gotta talk to them and tell them that you don't feel them giving the same amount. And you guys talk, and then life goes on, and he's still doing the same thing, or she's doing the same thing. Y'all know that y'all not supposed to be together.
It's time to leave.
But always communicate. I think it's a big topic. Communicating in relationships is the biggest thing. So that's it. I think that was all 7. Yeah, all 7. Shout out to my boy Elijah. Follow him on anything he wants to give him a shout out to. So
y'all follow me on Facebook. Y'all already know Elijah Baez. Follow me on I don't know, fucking Instagram, SoDope_Baez. And yeah.
Snapchat, add him on Snapchat.
Yeah, I don't know my Snapchat, but you'll find it from this nigga.
I'll put it somewhere. Yeah.
Alright, so hit y'all with that reality check.
True.
Peace.
Alright. Peace.